Welcome back to LC Works. Today we've got a BMW M5 F10, the 4.4 twin turbo V8 with a serious smoking problem. This car's not standard, it's one of our own vehicles. We've had it around about 12 months, probably maybe 18, and we've always had a smoking issue with the car. We've recently done the turbos, we've done the PCV valves, and every time we pull away from a set of traffic lights, 10 seconds or more, a lot of blue smoke, and it's using oil. Probably is doing between a litre every 800 miles, which isn't ideal. I believe we've got a problem with one of the cylinders, a broken ring, an oil control ring, something like that. So the only thing I feel like we should be doing, we're going to take this engine out, we're going to take a look over it, and we're going to see what's wrong with it. So yeah, let's get ready. You're going to come along with us, you're going to have a good ride. I'm going to show you the problems that we hit. We've never done one of these before. We've got it on the lift. I'm not going to show you the smoke because I want the engine to be nice and cold. So let's start dropping the fluids out and let's go. Bit more of the front end to strip, the lights to come out. We've exposed one of the radiators on each side of the bumper, just inside the inner wheel arch liner there. So let's keep going, let's get this front crash bar off and keep diving into it. Right guys, so update, cooling pack's off, you can see, happy days. I'm gonna get all the hoses off, all the electrics off, get them all labelled so we're not going wrong. Not a bad job, little bit tricky getting some of these clips. Some of these clips are just an absolute nightmare once they've been sat a while. Anyway, we've got there, nothing broken, happy days. So we're going to get into it, try and get it down as much of this off as possible because the engine's coming out forwards, and while it's in there in the engine bay, let's get some stuff off there, make a bit of room just while we're on the floor with it. Once it's pulled out, you know, it's a bit more difficult, so let's keep going and see what we can find. It's nearly clocking off time, so we've got most of the coolant lines off. We're going to take the harness off the car. It's just going to be way easier. So many would say take the engine out with the loom on the car. However, I've started taking the right hand side of the loom off the car here, and it is just opening the car up, opening the engine bay up. I can just see exactly what I need to see. So we're going to take the loom off the car, the top loom. We're going to get the starter motor undone. We're going to get the alternator and charge circuit wiring off, and yeah, we should expose it all, get underneath, hopefully get a few bolts undone, and we'll be ready to have her out, ready for the strip down. So that's going to be tomorrow, so I'll leave it there and we'll catch up tomorrow. Cheers guys. Right guys, day 2, and the weather's Awesome. A lot of snow. But we're in here. We're inside, so in the dry. I've got Dan here today.
Project M5.
Giving us a hand. This is it from yesterday. We've got the bonnet off. The bonnet is been taken off just for a bit of ease, so we can get the crane in. So this morning we're going to concentrate on the loom, on this harness, and this from yesterday. Get the rest of that off, and then go for the engine out. So we'll get on a bit of a time lapse again, and yeah, see how we get on. Right, quick update. We have the subframe down. We're not taking the engine out on the subframe, just going to be easier dealing with the engine on its own. Because we're on a bit of a scissor ramp, it's a little bit more difficult to take the whole thing out as opposed to a two-post lift. So I'll turn you around. So you can see subframes sat on some stands. We've got the engine and gearbox. They are being suspended at the moment, top engine cradle. So what we're going to do is we're going to drain the transmission down, remove these oil cooler hoses for the gearbox, they're bolted along the engine, and then we should be able to bring the engine out by itself. As you can see, these are the transmission cooler lines here. We've had a couple of little casualties. So we've got a track rod we've had to cut, very worn, so good spot. We've also auxiliary water pump or something broke the flare off the pipe there.
Very slow, isn't it?
Yeah, so a bit brittle. So at least we can get that replaced for a new one when it goes back together. So yeah, so we're going to keep cracking on, get this subframe moved, get the gearbox drained down, and then hopefully we should be able to go for the engine out. So we've got the gearbox drained, we've got the engine oil out of it. What we're going to do is we're going to lift the engine out and leave the gearbox in. So we've got the red engine brace holding the gearbox. We've got the gearbox plug off for the gearbox controller. We've got that disconnected. All the electrics are off. We've not managed to pull the harness off, so my theory of doing that is gone. So we've got all the engine loom resting on top of there, got the fuse box and everything. We've took the subframe off earlier and we are ready now. We have one bolt in the bell housing which we're going to take off. Got the crane on, obviously, as you can see. So yeah, we're gonna go for it. We're gonna get this out and get on with the strip down. Right guys, update. She's out. Below, just got the tin gearbox sat there, look, happy days. What a beast. A lot of engine.
Fair lump.
And there's a lot to strip down before we get inside her. So that's going to be on the next video. Tear down of all the electrics off, and before we can even start to see what's going on. But yeah, it's a fair beast. So we'll get to her on the next video, and yeah,
See what we find.
see what we can do. So, like I say, learning from doing the job, we'll definitely take the exhaust off first, and definitely we taking this subframe off with the rack was a good idea, but we wouldn't waste as much time trying to get the loom off the car. Probably would just do it like this.
Yeah.
We've actually ended up with on here with a lot more wiring in our way because it's not fitted still to the engine. So hey, the next time we do one, we'll know. Well, that's learning. That's all we can do. So on the next video, we'll get this stripped down and we'll see what we find. Cheers, guys.